Step 6, charge high prices and make it worth it. In this part of the guide, you're going to learn exactly what to price your package, and it's actually going to be worth it. And the price is actually going to be super high. So this is how beginners who never make any money in business, this is how they choose their pricing. They go and see what competitors are doing. Tate has a program which is, it's $47 a month. Sneeko had one which is about $47 a month. I want to make something similar, so I'll make mine $35 a month. Do that if you are a terrible entrepreneur. This is like, no offense to them, but this is what like brown, like immigrants do. It's just like, I see this so often with the sort of lower end businesses of, you know, making the corner store and everything. It's always like, okay, look at your competition and literally price your product a few pennies cheaper than theirs, hoping that that's going to be the reason why you get a sale. When you try and like undercut your competition by just making your price cheaper than them, it's just a purely depressing experience, because you're just making less money and here you are like fighting for the scraps, going lower and lower and lower and lower. A new guy comes in and his thing is lower, then your thing is lower, then his thing is lower, then your thing is lower, and then before you know it, no one's actually making any money. The top tier entrepreneurs don't do that. They look around what everyone's doing and they honestly don't even let it influence their idea of pricing. Instead, what they do, they think about how much the solution of the problem is worth to that dream customer. You see, you don't want to price for the product. You don't want to price for the package. So you're thinking, okay, how much is a live call with me worth? How much is like this Notion template, this course worth? You don't want to do that. This is what low-level entrepreneurs do. What you want to do is think to yourself, how much is it worth for my person, like my customer, to finally fix this problem that they've had for however long? Think about how powerful that is. Let's say it's weight loss for middle-aged women. Let's say that's like our market and our product, our solutions are about weight loss. We could think to ourselves, yeah, you know, like my training program's worth $20 and my one-to-one call, $50, this, okay, whatever. It's a bit low, okay? Or we could think, how much is this problem worth for this middle-aged woman who struggled with weight loss already for 10 years and will continue to struggle for the rest of her life? Thousands. If we can finally fix this problem for her, it is literally like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, fucking millions. She's going to spend hundreds, thousands of her hours of her mental fatigue, literally feeling self-conscious and jealous. Every time she goes into the supermarket and she sees a woman who's got a better physique than her, she will literally get like a slight twinge of mental illness. It's worth tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds to fix this problem for her. Now you're talking. Now you're not going to go and charge, but most likely you're not going to go and charge £100,000 for this. But you're going to actually like have some confidence about you, thinking like, fuck me, yeah, if I help them solve this problem, I will literally save them fucking decades of just spinning around in circles. I'll save them like years of experiencing pretty much mental illness, jealousy, insecurity, self-hatred. The thing I've got is actually amazing. Now you're talking. And so you think to yourself, okay, well, what's a pretty high price for this? And in general, the higher the better. What I would do is I would align how much you're going to charge with how intimate and intensive your program is. So remember we said like there's the DIY, done with you, done for you. If it's like a DIY, like you're just going to make the courses and stuff and it's kind of like done, it's automated after that, I would have it less. If it's done with you and you're going to do like these weekly check-ins or calls or something, then I would price it more. And if it's done for you, if you're able to like literally be there and like kind of do as much as possible to literally just force them to get the results, and you pretty much like in fitness, you can't do this, you can't lift the weights for them, but you do as much as you possibly could, then that's the most expensive. It could be hundreds of dollars for DIY, thousands of dollars for done with you, and tens of thousands for done for you. And this might scare you straight away. You're thinking, no, Hamza's wrong. I couldn't price mine at hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars. No, I couldn't. Yeah. If that's what the belief you have in your mind, then you couldn't. Yeah, you couldn't. If you think you can't, then you can't. Simple as that. But your dream customers, 1% of them or 0.1% of them are buying similar products with a similar price from someone else right now. Someone else is selling a similar thing that you've got, and they're making the money that you're scared of making. This isn't the objective truth of the universe that you couldn't charge that much. This is your own limiting belief because, yeah, why did you get this limiting belief? Was it a teacher when you were 7 years old who said some snide comments? Is it one of your parents who ended up saying, oh, you can't do anything when they were angry at you when you were 12 years old? Which one was it? This limiting belief you kept in your mind for 10 years and you're still going to let it rule you. That's how you want to live your life, right? Sounds pretty fucking stupid to live your life like that, right? So what's stopping you right now grabbing that limiting belief, destroying it and thinking to yourself, yeah, fuck yeah. The solution to their problem is worth thousands of dollars. I'm going to help them to solve this problem for the rest of their lives. Like, they are done. Once they have my program, they'll never struggle with weight loss or whatever the topic is that you're helping them with ever again. That is worth thousands. Yeah, I am worth thousands. Yeah, I can charge a package that's worth thousands and I will get them the happy results that they want. Because when you have that belief, well, yeah, you will. If you believe that your product is worth it and you believe that you can get them the results and you're willing to work hard as fuck and, stay in like communication with them, see where they're at, then yeah, then you will. This is a sticking point for many young men because your self-image is very important here. So this is going to sound kind of weird. We clicked on this section because you just wanted to make money. You wanted to know what to price your product. Actually, this section needs to be about your own psychology and your own deep beliefs about yourself, because how much you will price your product, how much you're willing to make per year is purely based on how you see yourself. Some people, some men, do see themselves as too high and they make no progress. Some guys will start off in their shitty like first business and expect to become like a millionaire within 6 months. They'll be setting smart goals or something, and that's like, you're being too arrogant. Come on, let's slow it down a little bit. You've got like too much self-belief, which in itself isn't even self-belief. It's more like the same kind of fear that holds the other opposite end of the spectrum, which is the people who don't have the belief to begin with. Either way, this problem just stems from like fear and resentment and lack of love and conditional love that you experience as a child. I know this sounds really deep, but it's absolutely the truth. You've got deep psychological wounds and like fucked up beliefs about the world, which is why you're struggling in business. Because if you did have the right kind of self-belief, you wouldn't struggle to sell a package for what it was worth. If there's a good price for your solutions and you're thinking, oh yeah, I'll just lower it a little bit because of X reason. Whatever it is, I just want to get some experience. Oh, my people don't have much money. They've got AirPods. How many times do we need to go over this? The people that you're selling to have money. You need to destroy any limiting belief you have inside of you right now and think to yourself, okay, fuck me. Like, I'm willing to work super hard to make a lot of money, right? I'm willing to skyrocket my active income. I'm willing to work like 5 hours a day to make sure that this client actually gets the results. I'm willing to over deliver. And if I'm going to do that, I need to be motivated to do it. If I charge them $100 or $200, then I'm not going to go above and beyond. But if I charge them $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 dollars for this package, I'm going to feel the pressure. I'm going to wake up early and literally message them saying, yo, come on, get up, like do the thing that you bought my package for. You see, there is a cycle, a positive feedback loop to pricing high, like increasing your prices. When you increase your prices, you care more. You're more motivated because you're getting paid for it. It's the beauty of a capitalistic society. When you increase your prices, they care more because they've invested more. So they take it more seriously. You might have heard of the study where the participants are brought in and given 3 bottles of wine to taste. And there's like the cheap bottle, the medium price bottle, and the high end bottle. And they're asked to give them a rating of like the taste or the like how good they are, and they rate the cheap bottle as the worst taste, the medium bottle as the medium taste, and the expensive bottle as the best taste. They're all the same wine. It was all the same, but you just told them, you just made them believe that one was more expensive. If something is more expensive, people just believe that it's more valuable, that it's better. And so they get better results with it. So literally, a fast way of you getting your people more results is simply to just charge more. And then if we're being honest, if we're being totally honest, which might offend some people, when you charge more, you get better customers. You simply just get better customers. When you charge less, you attract the worst people. You attract like cheap motherfuckers. You never want to sell like a cheap product, because especially when there's like a service, when you want to like, do some kind of interactive component with them, the amount of like emails and complaints you get from like lower tier people, broke people, because they've like, imagine like a broke person who's barely got any money, and here you are trying to sell him like a $10 a month thing. They will they will ruin your mental health. You don't want to sell anything like low ticket. The lowest thing that I'll ever sell is like $500. Because that means that like the absolute brokies can't afford it, which I know sounds horrible, but it's the absolute truth. That sounds horrible. You can criticize me all you want, but it's the absolute fucking truth. You don't want to sell to like absolute broke people, because they're the worst customers by far. You want to like the more expensive your product can be, simply the better the customer will be. The more they'll care, the more they'll respect you, the higher end they are that you might even want to network with. Imagine if you sell something for 5K, for 10K, for 50K, for 25K, for example. Imagine the level of difference between the person who would actually be interested in that. When they start off as like better customers because they can afford your more expensive product, they'll care more, they'll invest more into it, they'll get better results. When they get better results, you get to showcase that. You get testimonials, and also your own self-belief about your own program, your package goes up because they've got great results. And so you start getting conviction, which is the most important part of sales, is like you genuinely believe that your package will work. So it's a very positive feedback loop when you charge higher prices. Now imagine the exact opposite. Now imagine we decrease our price. We start with a very low price. Then you attract the worst customers, the most demanding customers, the guys who won't even put in any real effort because they've barely spent any money. So they don't put in effort because they didn't invest financially. They don't get the results. And then they blame you. They didn't even do what was required, and they'll literally blame you. And now, instead of getting testimonials and positive reviews, you're getting hate posts, and people saying, oh yeah, I bought his thing for $7. It wasn't even worth it, guys. It's just a scam, guys. You don't want to be selling to those people. And also, if we're totally honest, you don't want to be interacting with those people either. You don't want to be interacting with the kind of person who's sending you like a list of questions before he buys for something for like $10, where he's like autistically trying to, okay, so is it like this or is it like this? And if I buy it like this, like, you don't want to be like interacting, actually spending hours of your day with those kinds of people, do you? You're an entrepreneur. You don't want to be like serving the lowest sort of financial tiers. It's just the brutal truth of the world. This will offend many people, but a certain, like the entrepreneurs and like a certain class of people of intelligence, of maturity and values will understand what I'm getting at here. And you'll be thinking like, thank fuck, actually, Hamza's absolutely right here. Like, the more expensive I can sell, the better. You want to like gatekeep some of like access to you. You don't want to have just anyone of like the lower financial levels to be able to buy it, because often they are the worst. Now, this isn't always the case. There's a guy in India who makes 1,000 times less money than me, but he's a better person than I could ever imagine to be. Of course, there's always exceptions to this, but in general, money does rule. It really does. It's not so much that, money makes the person or anything. It's just that when a broke person spends like whatever pennies they have, it becomes a headache for the seller who has to like deal with that customer. But when you charge hundreds of dollars, you've just taken out 99% of the population. They can't buy it anymore. Guess what that means? You're selling to the 1%. That's better. You're selling to like the 1% of young men, let's say for me, for my product, I'm selling to the 1% of young men who actually would buy like an educational product for $500 because they actually think it's worth it. If I made my product like ADONIS School $5 or $10 or $20, imagine the kind of people who would flood in, who weren't willing to spend more on their education. There'll be a percentage of those new people who come in who like actually really care about education, but they just simply couldn't afford it because, the conversion rate of currency in India and stuff. Absolutely. But most of the people who would join would care less. They'd start like shit posting, low quality posts. They'd like, watch like 20 minutes of the course, then like not even take any more of it, and then complain that their YouTube channel isn't growing with like my YouTube course, for example. And then they'd leave bad reviews saying, yep, it didn't work. It's just a scam, guys. Haha, like you can just find it online for free. You don't want to be selling to those people. And so when you charge high prices, you cut them off. Way better. The broke 14-year-olds who don't understand entrepreneurship and money might get angry at you. And this is something I'm just going to be honest with you. When you do charge the higher prices, it's so unfortunate that the game of entrepreneurship is so hated these days, that when you do charge the higher prices, especially when you're like an influencer, if you're going through it about like, the sort of YouTube route, you will get some level of hate. You will do. It's always like sad when I see it, when I'll see like someone will just comment like, oh yeah, scammer, you can, you don't need like Hamza's course or his program, you can just find everything online. It's like, yeah, like you can go and find like education and information about any topic online, fine, go ahead. But like, isn't your biggest problem in life your content consumption anyway? Isn't your biggest problem that you spend like 4 hours a day on YouTube and you're just watching shit tier like content? If I've got a YouTube course, yeah, you can go and learn YouTube online for free, but like, do you know what I mean? Like it starts to like play on you. Absolutely, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. If you are going to sell as like an influencer, a YouTuber, TikToker, whatever, and you're going to sell at high prices, you will get people who complain. But here's the thing. If you sold anything for $1, you'd get people who complain that it wasn't for free. Let's just be honest, 99% of people are fucking losers. They're gonna try and pull you down. They're fucking crabs in the bucket. They'll literally pull you down and keep you there, like just being absolutely broke amongst them. When they see you, hey, you are trying to be an entrepreneur, they will try and bring you down. They will question it and be like, oh, but why don't you just, like, so people have said this to me, why don't you just make your business for free? Why don't you just make it for free? I'm thinking, bro, the fucking YouTube videos are free. What are you on about? I'm sat here with a throat that fucking hurts because I've been recording for 4 hours today. This is for free for you. Let me make some fucking money. There's a product which I can, like, if I sell it at a good price, not only do we have all those positives of, like the better customers come in, they're more invested, so they actually get more value. But when that product makes me money, then I reinvest back into it. And then I've hired teachers and coaches and more moderators and everything. So the product gets even better. People will question this and they will like dislike you for it. I'm just giving you the truth. And this is something that like, it doesn't hurt me anywhere near as much as it used to, but this used to be like the biggest pain that I had in this entire business of being a YouTuber and having a product, because it would really get to me when people would write like little words, like, a 14-year-old saying like, ha, he's a scammer. Like you can just watch all this stuff for free online. And I would be there like thinking like, how do I respond to this? I can't be the big YouTuber who responds to a 14-year-old, like trying to break it down, how they're a fucking idiot, saying like, yes, like information is readily available, but it isn't about the information. Like if you can learn it for free, then why aren't you a fucking YouTuber? If I got this YouTube course and you're saying, oh, but you can learn it for free, why aren't you growing on YouTube then? Because it's more than just finding it for free on YouTube. Oh, it's a scam because you can just get it for free. Like it really got to me for a good few years. It does a lot less now, I think, just because of like exposure and tolerance. But if you're quite new to this, I really do want to just give you this slight like sort of mental preparation to get ready, like get warmed up for this shit. Because when you do open the floodgate and you do announce, yeah, by the way, I've got this product and I'm going to be selling it to my followers. Let's say 90% of people will see it and think, I'm not really interested. 9% of people will literally start to dislike you for it, because people just dislike someone else making money these days. It's just the sad truth of it. And it's even young men, which saddens me, because I'm just thinking like, how do you not think that this is cool? How do you not look at it and like, instead of hating the game or the player of the game, why don't you look at it and think, oh damn, that's a pretty good way to make money. Like, I'm not going to buy it, but like Hamza's kind of smart with this. Okay, he's done that. Okay, he's done that. I might try that. I might learn the lesson there. 9% of people will just be the haters, and 1% of people, your loyal fans, they'll buy it. The 1% of people, they'll buy it. Whatever price it is, they'll buy it. You're selling to them. Don't think about the 90% who aren't really interested. Don't think about the 9% who might be like the haters. You think only about the 1% and what they're willing, because they're literally there thinking, oh man, another day where they've stepped on the scale and the weight's gone high and they really wish there was a solution to this problem. They've got 2K or 3K sat in the bank right now. They're just kind of saving it up for no clear reason. If you were going to guarantee them that forever their problem of like weight loss was going to be fixed, they'd be thinking, they'd be scared of spending that much, but they'd be thinking, you know what? It's actually kind of worth it. And I really like this guy. I really trust him. I might do it. They're who you want to sell to. Those are the people that you can actually really help. You can change their lives. And if we're being totally honest, which is absolutely okay, you need to be motivated for it. And so when that person transfers you over £3,000 for your fitness program, where you're going to go on to a daily call with them to make sure that they don't eat any shit food or anything, you're going to care because you're thinking, fuck me, they just gave me thousands of dollars. I needed to work for about 2 months to make that. I'm going to make sure this fat motherfucker loses weight, right? You're going to really care about them. You're going to make, you see the habit tracker I've got there. This is for my own one, right there. This one here, yeah. So this is my own habits. I tick them off. You're gonna make one for your client, thinking, okay, I've got to make sure he ticks these habits off. You're gonna message him at 7 p.m. Have you done that thing? No, do it. Call him no, what are you doing? Resting, bro. Just do it for 5 minutes. Come on, you're literally pressing them because you want to get them the result because they've paid you a lot. This makes you a way better entrepreneur because you're actually getting results, and that's what I want for you. I'm super interested about your thoughts of this last section, especially about the concept of charging higher prices, but then some people might kind of hate you for that. What do you do with the haters? What's your opinion on that? If you go and comment that right now, I'd just be one, I'm interested to see, but of course two, if you do that, the YouTube algorithm will promote this video, so it's a win-win. I'll be reading some of the comments, so I'm just very interested, how are you going to cope with it when you do see a comment from someone saying oh yeah, he's a scammer? What are you going to do? It's it's a very powerful practice to think about the bad things that could happen, the obstacles that could arise and how you'd overcome them. It's a very powerful practice doing that. So this can just be your practice of thinking, okay, when I do get some kind of hater or someone who's complaining, saying oh, my business isn't for free, that I'm not working for free, what am I going to do? How would I respond? Would I respond? Would I reply to their comments? What would I do? Go comment your answer to that below right now.